Well, hello and welcome back again to River Valley Farm. It's raining again. So we're going to take the opportunity to start going through this old Massey Ferguson number 9 square baler. I know I need a slip clutch, and I know I need a piece for the knotter that goes from here to someplace else there. Well, it's this flat piece, this rod, and there's a, let's see, well, that's just the trip mechanism for the knotter is all that is. So yeah, we need one of those. But anyway, today we're going to busy ourselves in actually taking the sheet metal off the top of it, cleaning it up. We're gonna take sheet metal off the top, blow it off, try and oil all the chains and everything, check the oil in all the gearboxes, make sure it's not full of water or anything like that. So yeah, nothing too spectacular, just a little bit of stuff to do. Nothing better to do, it's raining. Anyway, so let me get started taking the sheet metal off. I'm sure that includes a whole lot of bolts and a whole lot of time, so I'm not going to video it, but I'll try and give you the high points after I figure out how to do it. Alright, so we've got all of our bolts undone. One thing that I find interesting with this versus newer equipment is that these are all fine threaded bolts for the most part. They just really don't do that anymore. So it took a minute to find everything. There's one here. It's not a stud. You've got to drop the pickup down so you can get on the head of the bolt back there. Of course, you know, you're never really supposed to have to take one of these down this far anyway, but it's just a filthy mess. So we're going to blow it off and try and straighten it out. Let's see. So yeah, 2 there, 1 here, 1 back here, 1 there, 1 there, 2 there. So that's pretty much it as far as bolts go. Now the fun part, getting this big piece of sheet metal down off here without destroying it by myself. So I'm going to have to put the camera down for that and see what happens. Alright, so that went better than I expected, even though it is a giant piece of flimsy sheet metal. So, as you can see here, it's just in general nasty. I mean, it's dirty. There's a rock. Don't need that. So I'm going to fire up the air compressor and just kind of blow this thing off. I do have a new point of interest here. We are missing a bolt out of the top of this gearbox. So we're going to have to pay specific attention to this. And then these two are actually holding the sheet metal on. So that's not shocking me too much yet. But anyway, once you take the sheet metal off this thing, there's really not much left but the working parts. You know, my big concern is I want to check the chains, clean everything up, check the chains, make sure, you know, that they're all good shape, get oil on everything, and let it be soaking. And then, of course, we're going to have to investigate this gearbox. And I bought a service manual that I thought came with a parts manual, but apparently I was wrong. So we're going to hope that the service manual at least tells us what these pieces for the knotters are called, so we can call Massey Ferguson and see if those parts are available or if we are screwed. I'm hoping we're not screwed. But if we are, well, it'll look good on the scrap trailer. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, let me get busy again. We'll get this thing blown off and come back with the next point of interest. Alright, so It looks a little bit better now that it's actually clean. It's still not clean, but it's cleaner anyway. You know, we got all the grit and grime out of here, back behind the knotters, or most of it anyway. It's all fairly dry stuff, so that's good. You know, looking at the sprockets here and there, everything really looks to be in pretty good shape. The chains are kind of rusty and nasty. You know, the knotter assemblies, there's nothing that I can tell just by wiggling it that's all messed up or anything. Ooh, there's another interesting piece that might be a problem. That spring is sticking out. Couldn't see that before. So yeah, we're making progress, but we're still not 100%. Next step for me anyway is going to be to check the oil in this gearbox here. If I find the check plug, that is. I see what would appear to be a drain plug. Well, yeah, we need to mow more, I know. Okay. But it's too nasty to mow today, so we're going to do this. Okay? Does that suit you? Yeah? Okay. Alright, then you mow up close to the barn. Well, I'm still not seeing a check plug. I'll probably have to get into the book and see how and where you're supposed to do that. Or I guess since we're already missing a bolt in that top plate, we can take it off and look. And of course there's that small gearbox there that transfers to run your knotters and your stuffer forks, basically. And then also this big gearbox here on the side, which its check plug is a little bit more obvious right there. And you know, obviously it's had a little seepy leak on it here and there. Nothing to really be concerned about. The main part right in here is still okay. It's not wet as long as it has oil in it anyway. And then, you know, as I said, we're gonna take and I'm just gonna put a little bit of used engine oil on these chains here. So let me get some stuff together and then we'll see what else to do. Alright, so as you can see, I've already started putting oil on the thing. Now we are going to go and give it a twist and see what happens. Make sure we can see something here. Right, I'm going to go turn the flywheel and we will see, you know, make sure everything rolls free. Pick up a little bit, I guess. chains.
Look at your change?
Yep, go look at the chains.
You mean our change?
Yep, the chains, our chains, your chains, my chains, everybody's chains.
And don't forget Grandma's change.
Grandma's chains? It could be Grandma's chains, I don't know.
Grandma had these treasures. Dad, on our boat.
So at least on the drive train, or the drive chain for your forks here, your kicker forks, it's actually, the links are freeing up pretty good.
And then what? And then what?
Well, we're still putting oil on stuff, it's alright.
On the big change? On the big change?
Yep, on the big change.
Why are we putting it on the big change?
Because we need to put oil on the chains, so we can see.
There ain't oil all over your hand.
Yeah, no, that's alright. I can do that too.
Because you touched it, oil.
Yeah, because I touched the oil.
Are you touching the oil?
Because it's fun. I like touching oil. Okay.
I'm putting more oil in there.
Yes, I sure am.
Is that oil?
Yes, it is.
Dad, I found another bolt.
You found another bolt. You sure did, didn't you? Alright. Keep on rolling here.
Dad,
What?
I'm coming.
Coming. What?
Because I like it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. You're just always in the way. Come on. Alright guys, I'm going to keep working at this. Obviously it's going to take a few more minutes, so once I get done I'll get back with you. Alright, so we got everything oiled up here pretty good. All the chains are breaking loose. They all seem to be about halfway through, or this one's actually a little less than halfway through there, through the adjustment. This one, the main drive chain here, I'm not real sure where its adjustment is. Or well, the main drive chain for this gearbox and the knotters anyway. I'm not 100% sure where its tensioner is, but it looks to be okay. And over here, the actual main drive chain down in this hole is still in pretty good shape too. It's only about halfway through. It's about halfway into its adjustment, which I got the plunger in the way right now. On a good note, the plunger and kicker forks, stuffer forks, whatever you want to call it, are in time with each other, so that's good. And now we're going to pop the top off of this thing and see what it looks like, since it had that missing bolt, even though it's been under roof. I really don't like that idea. Get some kind of camera angle here, maybe. That'll work. You sure are making lots of noise and losing lots of my bolts over there, you know what? Okay, put it in the bucket and leave the bucket alone. That is a good sign. Can you put that in the bucket and bring me my light, please? Okay. So So it does have oil in it, probably approximately the right level. Not going to swear to that. Okay, bring it around, just hand it here. Here. Just hand it here. Here we go. Well, we're in a wrap there. Wouldn't have been able to hand it to me after all. So, as you can see down in there, it, you know, shows a pretty normal wear pattern on the gears. There is some crunchy stuff there in it, but it's not too bad. I'm sure the oil probably never has been changed in this gearbox just because of where it came from. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to flush that stuff out. That's just nasty. And this does use straight 90 weight mineral oil for gear lube, not 80W90 or anything else. So, you know, while it's still functional, that's not real nice either. Anyway, we'll move on to the other gearbox here in a second once I wipe my hand off after I put the lid on back on this one, and we'll go from there.
What's it doing?
Well, it's we were using it to clean off around this plug. Anyway, let's get this out, see if it'll come out. Look there, it does come out, so it's been checked at some point in its life. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome, huh? And it's got oil in it. It doesn't look that terrible. Might have a little bit too much oil in it, but that'll be alright, because we're going to have to change it anyway one of these days.
How are we going to have to change it?
Well, because that's what you do. You change the oil in something that you don't know anything about.
Okay.
Alright, so I think other than being a filthy mess and somebody I talked to the man that actually used this thing last, and he had his 8-year-old son running the tractor, pulling the baler while he was on a wagon behind it stacking, and his son is on a little Massey 150, put the PTO in ground drive, and he plugged the baler, which in turn smoked the slip clutch. What?
Grandma's coming up.
Who's coming up?
The stamp.
The jack?
The stamp.
Well, we don't need to pick the jack up right now. It's fine right where it's at.
The stamp.
Huh?
Stamp.
Okay. But anyway, apparently he smoked the slip clutch, which is right here. Probably should take that apart and see what we can figure out with that too. Just to be on the safe side, just in case it is in fact not bad and just needs to be adjusted, although those springs are pretty tight. So yeah, alright guys, let me get this PTO shaft up here and I'll bust it apart real quick because it's going to take me a minute, and we'll go from there. Alright, so there's no need to really take this apart. We can see right here. Let me get a little bit more light on the subject so we can see it better on camera. Okay then. So this right here is your friction material. You can see it is broken right there by that bolt. So I'll get my thumb out of the way. And so that is that. We know we need a slip clutch and at least one bolt for them. We have 2 more springs and 1 more bolt here. So yeah, we need a bolt there, and a bolt there, and a spring there, and a spring there, and then it should be happy, I think. Or actually, excuse me. this bolt and this bolt, and this bolt is where it mounts on the flywheel. And then we need another bolt here and here with springs for our slip clutch. So, that being said, now we know what all we need, and we just got to see if we can get it or not. I already called and priced the slip clutch a few days, well, a month or so ago, and the friction material for it was $52. Leave the hitch alone, okay? It's fine. But the bolts were like $50 something a piece also, and so were the springs. So we're gonna have to see what we can do there. This is kind of they are kind of specialty looking bolts. We've got a step down with a big shank. You know, probably not something I'm gonna find at the local hardware store. The springs would appear to be in okay condition, or at least these two are. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, please comment, rate, and subscribe for more. And I will get back to you as soon as I figure out what I'm going to do here. Thanks for watching.